There are three factors that make us cautious about reintroducing orangutans or any animals where there's existing viable populations. The first one is genetics. Different populations are genetically adapted to their particular environment. And by mixing genes of unknown origin, we have the potential of reducing the fitness of the entire population. I mean, for example, let's say a group of people came from a population that survived by running away from danger. They were lean and mean and they ran, and that's how they survived. And they interbred with a population that was thick and stocky, but couldn't run away. However, they could fight off any danger. Now, the offspring between those two may be neither able to run as fast away from danger or have the ability to fight off danger. And therefore, the interbreeding causes a reduced fitness in the population. So we need to be cautious about this. I certainly know in my own lifetime, when I first started studying orangutans, there was actually only one species. But of course now we know there's three. And I certainly even suspect that orangutans remain underdescribed. So we have to be cautious not to ruin the genetic viability of populations by adding genes which don't belong there. The second factor is disease. Now, we've wiped out literally millions of people, let's say in South America and North America, by introducing the population which is naive to new diseases. And of course, we even have ape examples such as polio being introduced into the Goom River chimpanzee population. So we have to be very cautious about that too. And similarly, we don't know what we don't know. So we may be able to test for some diseases, but other diseases just simply unknown to us could be inadvertently introduced to a population. So therefore, a cautionary tale for us there. The last factor to consider is holding capacity of a particular area. Now, all species always produce more offspring that have than are able to survive in a particular area. And every individual wants to survive and wants to breed. And so, given any stability, a population will always expand to fill the entire ecological niche. Animals are not going to simply die or not reproduce if they can survive, even in the marginal areas of a particular ecosystem, even if the densities are edging on maximum. And so we can expect pretty much all ecosystems, all things being equal, is to be at capacity for that particular species. The only exception would be if there's some factor which reduces the population somewhat, let's say hunting. But of course, you have to be very sure of that, and you also have to reduce that factor, i.e. eliminate, in this case, hunting, in order before you reintroduce. So if you don't understand these situations and you introduce animals into a population, and in many cases orangutan populations are in hyperdensities, beyond their carrying capacity, because animals are fleeing the destruction from other areas, and the capacity for the rainforest to produce fruit is affected now by climate change, drought and fires. And so we very well may be in a situation where we introduce animals where there's a viable population, and literally either that orangutan or another orangutan have to die because of that capacity. So these three factors put together means, in many cases, if we introduce animals into where there's viable populations of a species, including orangutans, it may be a perfect example of indiscriminate charity causing more problems than it solves.